What's going on, guys? Joe with Joe's Dream Machines here. Wanted to do a little channel introduction, kind of give you a rundown of the cars that we're going to be working on the channel, at least the cars we're currently going to be working on, hopefully adding more in the future, and telling you what the channel's about. I'm a car enthusiast. I've grown up watching YouTube and watching other car enthusiasts build cars and sharing their projects, and that's what it's all about to me. That's what the car community is about, is sharing the love and sharing your projects. So that's what we're going to do. That's what the channel is going to focus on. Don't know what that's going to look like in the future, or how it's all going to play out, but I'm just going to start adding videos, start creating content, and letting you guys kind of join me on my journey of fixing up my projects. So I'm going to introduce you to the first one. This is the one that's going to get the most love in the upcoming future, and it's going to get a lot of it really fast. So we're starting out with my 2003 Mitsubishi Evolution. As you can see, she's seen better days, but we're going to bring her back. We are going to start probably today, actually, on getting the engine bay cleaned up. We've got a fresh motor going in. The motor's at my buddy's shop. We've been working on the last 2 weeks on getting it assembled and ready to go to put in the car. So today, gonna clean up the engine bay, get it all degreased and a little tidier. It's not gonna be beautiful by any means. It's just gonna be clean enough to work around and work in. And then the other thing that we're going to do on it today is probably change out some wheel bearings. I know it's got a bad wheel bearing in the front, so get that taken care of, and yeah, maybe make a video out of that. But for now, I just want to kind of go over the cars and give you a rundown on what's happening to them. So I bought this car about 3 years ago. I bought it as a project, an unfinished project from a shop. Got it running, got it tuned. 2 days after getting it tuned, the clutch completely let go, destroyed itself. The turbo ended up being bad. There was just a whole plethora of things that were not done great and could have been done better and needed to be fixed. So ended up replacing the turbo, getting a brand new Precision 6266 for it. The old manifold was cracked, so I got a new manifold for it. New wastegate set up. It's on a twin scroll now. Put a lot of money into it. Got it all back together. New quartermaster clutch. Yeah, just trying to get it right. Got it running. Compression tested it the day before we were supposed to go get it tuned, and had 160 psi on cylinder 1, 2, and 4. Had 30 psi on cylinder 3. So motor ended up coming out. New short block going in, new head going in. Yeah, just the works. We kind of went through everything, trying to get this car back right. Got a couple goodies for it. It was on an AEM ECU, and it is now going to be on a Haltech 1500. Got the Haltech IC7 dash in replace of the old original dash. And the reason I wanted to go with the IC7 is to be able to get rid of all of these gauges. So the IC7 communicates directly with the Haltech Elite ECU, and I can run all of my gauges via Haltech sensors and other sensors through the ECU to the dash. So all of my boost, my AFRs, coolant pressure, coolant temp, everything can be communicated through the ECU into the Haltech IC7 dash, which is nice. I can get rid of the gauges, get the inside clean back up. So that's probably one of the things I'm most excited about, other than, and you might be able to see it already, that shifter is an OHM shift knob, OHM Racing strain gauge shift knob. And you know what that means. If it's got a strain gauge, it's got straight cut gears. It's a dog box. That shifter will allow us to do some flat foot shifting and pick up the quarter-mile times on this car quite a bit. Underneath the shifter is the actual shift lever. That's a IRL, inline racing, no money shifter. So what this allows you to do is shift normally, gear to gear. There's no transmission in it right now, that's why it's loose and wobbly, but shift gear to gear just like a normal street driving shifter experience. But when it comes to actually racing and making hits, especially with the dog box, you want to avoid money shifting your car at all costs. So all you have to do is pull this grenade pin. It drops this little bracket down into the shifter, which has grooves inset into it, so that when you shift from first to second, the spring drops that bracket down into it, each groove, and will not allow you to shift back up into the previous gear. So it avoids money shifting your car, which is a nice feature to have when you've got a very expensive transmission that you do not want to destroy. So dog box is going in, got our strain gauge, our no money shifter. Let's see what other goodies. We've got a brand new grip royal steering wheel, as most Mitsubishi Evolutions you come across have. Terrible steering wheels, just part of being an old car and seeing a lot of sun and use. But yeah, brand new grip roll steering wheel to put in, so that'll look good, nice and clean. Yeah, I've got a set of Weld 15s with slicks to go all the way around this car. The only problem is this car has some janky coilovers on it on the front only, and then original suspension in the back, and you can see how much the back is sagging. So it currently will not fit the drag slicks underneath it, so I'm gonna have to get a set of coilovers for this car to get it sitting right and be able to run them. But I've already got the Willwood small brake kit on the car and installed, so that when we do get the coilovers on, the 15-inch wheel will clear the rotors and calipers. So we can get those on. This car should boogie on a set of slicks. It's gonna be fun. So yeah, that's car one. There's some other things I could probably go over and touch on that I've done with this car, but we'll get to that in the future. On to car number two. Car number two is my baby. This car I've had since I was 16 years old. It was my first car I ever bought. I bought it from a friend in high school. Got an incredible deal on it. Deals that you can't find on these cars anymore. And that is a S14 240SX. This car's undergone quite a few transformations in its lifetime. But through it all, I've always kept the body stock. There's just something about a clean stock S14 that you can't beat. So never had any aftermarket bumpers or side skirts or body kits, nothing like that. Just keep it as clean as possible. It has had a paint job recently. Just a few months ago, I got this car back from paint, and it breathed a whole new life into it. I'll probably throw up some pictures, or you'll see some pictures in the future of what this car looked like before going to paint, but she looks much better now. But yeah, this is my baby. Of all my cars, this car will never go anywhere, guaranteed. I don't want any of my cars to go anywhere, but this one will not. I will sell my house and live out of this car before I sell this car. That's how much this one means to me. Like I said, it's undergone a few different transformations. Obviously, original KA car, all the S14s came with, at least the 240SXs. Blew that up in short order. Car sat for like 10 years. It sat in my buddy's barn. Miraculously came back out not destroyed, because he had cows on his farm and several times the cows would get out. Actually, I think it was a neighboring farm, but the cows would get out and walk through the barn and be between the barn stalls and the side of the 240. He would send me pictures of it. Crazy. I don't know. It came out okay though. But yeah, sat for 10 years. Ended up buying an SR20 for it. Put that in the car. I was broke back then, you know, young kid struggling to make it paycheck to paycheck. So I never got that motor really running and saw the full potential of it, but did get it in the car. Pretty much had everything for it to get going. Ended up buying another S14 that had a running KA in it and just swapped that back into the car to get it going. Ran with that for a while and eventually blew that up also. So I took that motor out, took it to a machine shop and had it built bottom end, built head. I've got everything to turbo that motor, and actually put that motor in the car, got it running, and very quickly decided I wanted something more, something a little more fun, something a little more reliable, and something that I could build onto in the future but still have plenty of fun in its stock form. So I ended up pulling that motor back out and dropping in an LS3. I know, shame, taboo, but I have to say it was probably the best decision ever. The LS platform is so freaking reliable and so much fun. There's nothing like torque in these cars, and it's got plenty of it. So LS3 went with the full Sicky kit. Everything to swap this motor into this car is Sicky, aside from the radiator. So went with the full kit. It was easy, made life simple. We literally had that motor delivered on a pallet and pulled it off the pallet, had it in the car, and had the car running inside of a week. That's how easy the Sicky kit made it. So if you're gonna be LS swapping any S14s or BMWs or anything, they make kits for just about all cars now. I would highly recommend it. It's not cheap stuff, but you know, you pay for what you get, so, and you get what you pay for. Sicky, pay for it. You'll get what you want, you'll get what you need. So yeah, that's the S14. And then finally, I think the car that probably will end up getting the most attention on this page, maybe, I don't know, just because of their rarity, is my FD RX-7. This car was owned by a friend, originally built by David Mazzei, and I may be butchering his name a little bit, but David Mazzei built this car, put the 3-rotor in it, ended up selling this car to fund his 4-rotor build, which he ended up selling that car to fund his current 5-rotor build, which is all over the internet right now. You've probably seen it if you're into rotary stuff at all. But yeah, he originally built the car down in Alabama, sold it, and the guy that bought it had intended to get it set up for half-mile racing. It was taken to a shop up in Maryville, Tennessee, and supposedly they had the car sitting somewhere around 1,200 horsepower in order to run half-mile events. The guy picked it up after having them work on it and getting it tuned, drove it one time, and it scared the crap out of him, so he sold it. And he sold it to my friend, who has had the car for the last, I would say, close to 8 years, maybe longer, I'm not sure exactly, but and it pretty much just sat. Once my friend got it, he drove it quite a bit initially, but he had some other project cars that he was working on. He has a pretty pretty clean. When I say pretty clean, probably the cleanest Evo I've ever seen in person, that he was wanting to finish a build on. So I made him an offer for the car and he took it. So I ended up with this 3-rotor FD RX-7 and I couldn't be happier. It's a fun car. Yeah, so I guess a quick breakdown on it. 3-rotor, motor was built by Bonsai Racing, aggressive street ports, Borg Warner S480 turbo, 64, I believe, I may be misquoting this, but 64 millimeter HKS wastegate. Yeah, car's on pump gas. It's a 93 pump gas car, obviously pre-mixed, no oil metering pump on this, so you pre-mix the oil straight into the gas. What else? The car was tuned on C16, and that's what it was making all the power on. But I don't know if you guys have looked at the prices of C16 fuel lately, but it is not cheap. I've contemplated going E85 just because I know the rotary cars love it. The only thing that's kept me from doing it is the amount of driving this car actually sees, and it's not much. We take it to shows every now and then. We'll go out and cruise some, but we're not racing any events in it. We're not driving the car weekly. So if you know anything about E85, you know if you let E85 cars sit, they tend to gum up, ruin injectors, ruin fuel pumps. So this car sits more than it drives, so that's kind of been my main reasoning for not going E85 on it. It is just the hassle of trying to keep that E85 from gumming up. But yeah, so 93 pump gas car. Honestly, have no idea what kind of power the car is actually making. I'm gonna say high 4s to mid 5s currently. My buddy had it detuned to make it more streetable. It had a turn down exhaust on it that turned directly under the passenger floorboard originally, and the car was nearly undrivable. When he first got the car, I rode in it, and no lie, you could hear this car from miles away. Even just cruising, not making full hits, you could literally hear the car for miles down the road coming. So it was just obnoxiously loud. It's still a very loud car, even with the full exhaust. It's 4-inch all the way back to a very nice titanium exhaust. But the car's still loud, but it was very loud before. So yeah, got a full exhaust on it, got it detuned. Again, I've never put it on a dyno to see exactly what kind of numbers it's making, but it's a fun, fast car. It's light and obviously gutted. Got a half cage in it. Got the low max seats. So very basic, very light, very quick car. Fun all around. It has graham lights, a set of graham lights on it. These wheels, this thing's got cobwebs all over it. These wheels have been discontinued by Graham Light, which is the only reason I haven't changed them. They look really good on the car. I've thought about changing the wheel setup on this car so many times, but just the fact that you can't get these wheels anymore kind of has been the reason I've left them on it. But I don't know, maybe in the future might upgrade. I've really contemplated putting a drag setup on it, but I don't really use the car for that. It looks killer, it looks sick. I actually stuck the set of welds on it that I have for the Evo, and I have a picture of that. I might throw it in the video somewhere, but I threw these on the back and it looks wicked with this with the drag setup on it, but again, it's not really what I use the car for, so kind of no point in doing it other than to just have an extra set of drag wheels. But yeah, that's the breakdown of the cars that you're going to be seeing content of on this page: the S14, the RX-7, and the Evo. Like I said before, the Evo is probably going to get the most love just because it's what I'm going in on the hardest currently. The motor's going to go in next weekend, so Christmas is in a few days here. You'll see this thing getting a motor put in it the weekend following Christmas, so pretty soon, and then hopefully all back together and ready for a tune by the first week of January. The guy that's going to tune it is Aaron O'Neill from Ronan Brothers Performance. He actually was the tuner at English Racing for many years, and then moved out to Tennessee and has started his own shop. But so he's an Evo guru. Like, this is what he deals with primarily. They do tune other things. He'll probably end up tuning the 240 in the near future as well. 240 is pretty much stock other than a mild cam on it and the headers and intake, but I haven't decided yet. I really want to turbo the car, but I have a lot of people telling me I should just leave it NA, so I don't know. We'll see what route we end up going with that. But yeah, so Aaron O'Neill is going to tune the car, and we're hoping to be somewhere in that 800 horsepower range initially. The limiting factor on this car will be the turbo. The 6266 will probably be running out of steam around that 800 horsepower mark. It's going to be 2150 cc injectors. It's got a 4-inch 1000 horsepower rated intercooler on it. So yeah, really the limiting factor will end up being the turbo. So we might end up upgrading turbos later on, but for now, I mean, 800 horsepower with a dog box and a street Evo is going to be a pretty fun machine. So that's our goal starting out. Everything in the bottom end of the motor is good for upwards of 1200 horsepower. It's a long rod, aluminum rod motor, Wiseco pistons, Callie's billet crank. So the bottom end can handle just about everything we can throw at it. So I don't know, maybe we'll try to hit that 4-digit mark in the future with this car, but starting out 800 is the goal. But I'm gonna get started on getting this engine bay cleaned up and probably getting the wheel bearings replaced on the front of the car. Video that. Again, that'll probably be in a separate video, but that was a quick breakdown of my cars, of my dream machines. So hope you guys come back for some more videos. This one might have been kind of lame, kind of boring, I don't know. It's my first video, I'm new to this, so we'll see where it goes from here. But like I said, join me and I will take you on an adventure. Thanks for watching Joe's Dream Machines. Peace out.